Hello everyone, Jennifer again here. So we're going to continue where we left off. I had just shown you how to add a camera once I pre-composed and flattened the orbit and made it 60 seconds or 1 minute long. Okay, so in here we have orbit flattened, and within that, if we just take a look here, this is our orbit. Notice I've organized things, and so let's just look at orbit flattened. That was basically using keyframe assistant, right? And then sequencing layers with no overlap, and then I flattened that to be flattened that and brought it into Planet 3D, and here it is, orbit flattened, so it's just one layer. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I did add a GIF. I'll show you that in just a moment. I was experimenting with it for a little while, but I turned it off. So take a look at how organized I am here. See, I made bins or folders here. One bin holds all my compositions. You can just drag anything in or out of a bin. So now you can see Planet 3D is not in the composition bin. And now Planet 3D is, once I drag it right up here, and it's in there now. Okay, I made a folder for two GIFs. I have a space alien turning and a space alien with a necklace, which you'll see in a few minutes. Then I have my texture maps, which we brought in earlier. And I have a video clip spin, which I will populate in just a moment as well. So just to show you, the GIFs that I got were this one, which is a 3D space alien turning. And then I also have this space alien with a necklace, which is really cool. Now this one, we could actually use masks to remove the background, but that would take quite a while. So I just used one mask and I feathered the edges quite a bit, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So let's take a look at where I got these two, and you can get different ones or the same. You might want to try something a little bit different, but let's see. If I go here to my Google Chrome, you'll see that this is one of them. So I just did a search for Space Alien Gif, and there it is. So I thought that would be fun. And I also, so what I did was I right click or control click on a Mac and I saved image as. So I need to, you don't want to just, in this case, you don't want to just copy the image. You want to save, no copying, save image as, okay? And then save it into your external hard drive, as I did, like in a really good place, like right here. And I could even be more organized if I wanted to and put these into their own folders here. So here it is, Space Alien Turning, okay? And then I also did a search for 3D Space Alien Gif, and I got this really cool one, which you have to scroll down just a little bit to find it. But I just thought it was so cool. It's so neat how it blinks and everything. It's very cool and creepy looking. So I did the same thing here. I saved image as, and then I saved it, as you can see, into right here. Okay, so there it is. All right, it's kind of neat. It moves around. It's really interesting and creepy. All right, so those are those. So now let's go ahead and grab a really cool video of a spaceship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's see, where is that one? Studio.
And here again.
Oh, that's me.
And I'm going
that
to
certainly isn't it. Where did I put that? No, that's proxies. Let's see. I can always just look for it again. Nope, that's not it either. All right, so I found this here. I'm going to go YouTube. And I'm going to look for Spaceship Lab green screen with sound.mp4. This is a really good one. And you can grab this one down here, okay? It's 28 seconds long, Spaceship Green Screen Lab. And you'll see, this is cool because it also has nice sound. So that's a really nice one. You can see there's all this really cute little animation in it as well. So I'm going to grab this, and I like to go to yout.com. That always works really well for me to download YouTube videos. Then I grab the URL from this YouTube video, Command C on a Mac or Control C on a PC, paste it into yout.com. And as you may recall, I'm going to go with the MP4 video. If I want a higher quality, I have to buy Pro. Another cool thing about this too is it will allow me to adjust the length of my video. So if I wanted to make it just a little bit shorter, I can do that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just leave it as is. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Format Shift to MP4. Make sure it's an MP4 quality. Yeah, this is the highest quality I can get without having to pay. And I'm going to click on Format Shift to MP4. And it will download it. And of course, I'm going to have to find where I want it. So I'm going to click here, Jennifer Yellow, and go to our class, which is FLM 202, FL Film Production 202. Put it in the Planet 3D folder, and go ahead and save it. And now I can show it in Finder, and we can see that it is there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead to Adobe After Effects, and if you'll notice, if I'm right here in Video Clips, I could just drag it in there, or I could hit Command I and grab it, and as long as I've clicked on the Video Clips folder, it will put it in that folder. So there it is. See that? Very nice. So now that I have my camera and I've kind of played around with how it's going to move, I'm going to go ahead and put my spaceship above the camera. And as you can see, it's small, but I'm just going to kind of scroll through here, scrub through here a little bit until I get to the spot where the green screen starts. And that's somewhere around here. Let's go ahead and hit FN. Oh, actually, yeah. FN down button on a MacBook Pro, or you could hit page down to go forward frame by frame until we get to the spot where the green screen starts. Looks like it's about to start. As you can see, it's fading out. The green screen HD is fading out. There you go, right there. And I'm going to cut it. Option left bracket. And I'm going to put my playhead right here in the beginning. And I'm going to hit the left bracket to snap it to the playhead. Okay, and there you go. And now it is a YouTube video. As you recall, I'm going to make it bigger. And fill up that space right there. Maybe, let's see, probably drag it to the left or right just to decide where it will look the best, because this is pretty cool over here. I've got a little bit of room there, and then this is pretty substantial over there. I could just leave it where it was, just centered. Okay, and now I'm going to grab go into keying. As you remember, this is in my effects and presets. So if I don't see effects and presets, I can go to Window, Effects and Presets, make sure that's on, and you'll see it pop up over here. I'm going to drag Keylight 1.2 onto this layer. I can either drag it here or down here. And now you'll notice there's an effect underneath, which is this one. Grab the eyedropper tool and click in the green. and I've knocked out that background. So that's going to look really nice. And let's just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and hit O to snap my playhead to the end of this, and then hit the N button, the N key, so I can see how it works throughout the whole scene. And let's see what we've got. Now remember, we're not hearing the sound because the sound will play the second time around and beyond. So that's pretty cool. And let's just see how much it's going to render. So as you remember, the camera was handling the 3D orbit flattened, allowing us to move through space. So let's just see what we've got now. So there you go. Pretty cool. I might decide if something weird happens, like right at one spot. I'm not sure why that glitch is happening. Let's just see again. Not sure. Oh, you know what that must be? Let me see. Let's just see for a second. I think it is actually not the same. That's really weird. Something's odd with this MP4, because what happens is that background isn't our background anymore. It's a background, yes, it's a background that was made for this scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, it's part of the green screen, in other words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that spot where it switches. See that? And get rid of it. Okay, so we'll probably have to do like some sequencing of layers again with this spaceship. So let's just see where it pops off and becomes something else. So I'm just going to go down until we get to that spot right there. Okay, so here, see, it goes black, the screen goes black, and it becomes something else. So I'm going to hold down Option right bracket, and that is the end of that scene, okay, that just has that section of the spaceship. So what I can do once again is I can sequence layers and pre-compose. Let's just see, before I do that, let's see, do we want this to be like over here so we get more screen real estate of the, or you know, we can see more of the outside? I would say probably yes, because part of what's cool about this video is the view from the spaceship. So like right there would be pretty nice. Get rid of that chair, but then I've got this extra area here. I guess I'll leave it like this for now, just for our purposes here. Okay, and that's good. All right, so let me just make sure that's all the way to the end. Okay, and now let's go ahead and hit Command D, and we'll duplicate that maybe 10 times or so. That's good. That should be good enough. And I'm going to go ahead and shift select them all, and I'm going to right click or control click and go to keyframe assistant, sequence layers, overlap, no, okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and right click, pre-compose, and now I should have this, and we'll call this Space Lab. Click on OK. And now we have the Space Lab lasting as long as we want it to last. Okay, as we can see as I kind of scrub through here. Okay, so there you go. That's pretty nice. Now the next thing I want to do, which I've already done here, and let's go back to the project. So that's my spaceship, and that's looking pretty good, is I've got these gifts in here. So you'll notice I brought the space alien with the necklace in already. So let's turn her on, and there she is. So I'm going to do something really creepy with her. Let's put her underneath the Space Lab. Okay. Now, what you'll notice is Actually, before I do that, let's Command Z so you can see what I did. So as you can see, I brought her in, but she's got this, if I turn off the mask, okay, let's just do that for a second. If I delete the mask, see, she's got this ugly square behind her, which I don't want. Now, I could, there are a few things I can do, but the easiest is to just use a mask. I tried rotoscoping, but this layer doesn't really have the right, it said it had fields, or there was something wrong with it, which would have made it problematic. Really, the best way to clean this up absolutely perfectly would be to take this GIF into Photoshop and remove each background one by one. It's very short. It's only like, about 2 seconds or so. So it wouldn't take me that long, but it's a lot of work. And I just, let's get through this exercise because it's very tedious to do that. So what I did, as you can see, is I added a mask, just like I did with the jellyfish. And the way to do that, once again, in fact, I can just remove the mask and I'll start over, so just to show you, is right here. I use the pen tool, and I just clicked and dragged to get my first, what is called a vertex. Click and drag, right, to get some nice shapes there. Let's actually bring that over to the left. I hit Command Z twice to get rid of those vertices. And I'm going to just click and drag like that. So I want to go around this head. And I want to also feather it, as you saw. So let's just bring that like that. And I can hit the left arrow, right arrow, up and down to kind of adjust these vertices. And then bring that one down like that. And this one, what I could do is just go around this way. Now, I did it the opposite way before, and it knocked out the wrong thing, and I just inverted it. But in this case, there you go. So now I didn't have to invert it. It's because I selected her. And now I'm going to go into my transform, actually into my mask properties, sorry. And I'm going to make the mask feather large so that it looks like there's a soft halo behind this creature. And why I'm doing it this way, as opposed to other ways, like I said, is just to keep this very quick and not have to worry about making everything perfect. And if I want to adjust it, I can bring this down. That's going to help get rid of this sort of edge on the side and still allow me to keep my mask kind of soft. Okay, so, and we can also, there are other things we can do to kind of play around with this and fix it up a little bit. So there you go. That's what I did there. And now what I'm going to do, as you can see, once again, now notice there are no keyframes with this mask. So, and I'm going to go to the end of this. Let's hit O, and I'm going to go ahead and hit N, and let's just play this for a second, because I really don't need to do sequencing layers with this one if I don't have to adjust my mask, because this creature does move slightly, but not enough to have to really adjust my mask like I did with the jellyfish. So that's looking pretty cool. So I'm going to say that's good enough. My mask right here needs a little adjustment, so I can click on that and just bring that down, because there was a lot of artifact showing that showed that it had been in a square background before. So I think that's pretty good now. I could even bring it in a little bit more and just say, hey, this is intentional to have this halo like this. I think that's pretty good though. It's almost ghostly looking. It's a very cool space alien. All right, and it is a GIF, which is cool. So instead of sequencing layers here, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go to the alien with the necklace in my project panel, right click on a PC, control click on a Mac, and interpret footage, main, interpret footage, main, and we're going to loop it. And let's go loop 100 times. Click on OK. And now you see how it snaps out. There's this gray area which wasn't there before. And now I can have it go all the way to the end. I can drag it all the way to the end, and now my creature is going to kind of sit there and stare at us in this weird way as long as we want it to. So I'm going to put the creature now underneath the Space Lab, okay, and probably actually move the creature over, because we don't want the creature to pop in until we've moved away from the Earth and the Moon. So as we see here, that's pretty cool. And the creature pops on, so maybe the creature could come in from the side. Let's do something creative here. So I'm going to hit I to go to the end point of the creature. And I'm going to turn the creature so that the creature is, let's close the mask, is rotated at like this, maybe. We'll try it, you know, it's always trial and error. 90 degrees. Let's go with 90 degrees. So it's like completely sideways. And I'm going to, let's change our number of views to 1 so we can really see this better. So instead of 2 views, see how I'm dragging this because I didn't see the 2 views before. We'll go to 1 view. There we go. And we have a problem here with our spaceship too. So let's go to our Space Lab and hit V to get to the move tool, move it over. Looks like we're going to have to make it bigger. So go to our Space Lab. Good thing we did that, huh? So we could see that it's actually a little small. And I'm just going to bring it above 100%. There we go. Okay, move it over to the left. Hitting my left arrow there. Okay, so now when the space creature comes in, let's switch to the space creature. I'm now selecting the space creature. Let's have it creepily come in, maybe from the side. Okay, so we're going to click on the stopwatch for position. And I guess scale, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that could be interesting. Rotation, I don't think we need to do that. We could even do opacity and have it, you know, like come into view from nothing, which could be fun. But let's do this for now. And maybe up to like in about, maybe in 5 seconds or so. Now the creature has moved over here. And we, of course, we can only go to there. Okay, there we go. Now let's see what we've got now. Let's bring our work area over to here. And let's see. And we have that cool sound of the spaceship going. So now you can see that the camera is moving us. And, you know, we can also do some other cool things with the camera. But let's see if we can get the space creature working nicely. So actually, let's have the space creature come in much sooner. Probably about there. So I want my creature to come in right here. So I hit the left bracket. Okay. So let's see what happens now. Let's bring this over here and let's see what we've got. So as you can see, it's slowly rendering. My space alien is in low resolution, so that's good. And it's just slowly drawing that render. There it goes. That's very creepy, but I almost wonder if maybe it should be coming up from the bottom, but let's see. Pretty weird. Let's see. I think it's a little too large. Oh, it is creepy though. It's kind of neat that it's that big. So let's see. Yeah, I like that. So what I'll do now is we'll start it a little smaller and have it grow, give it a little more of a dynamic feel. So here it's going to be, let's actually keyframe opacity too, just for fun. So we're going to go a little bit smaller, and we'll bring it over to the right so it starts off. And notice how I'm not in 3D here. My space creature really doesn't need to be in 3D. Okay, so that's good. And now we'll snap to the next keyframe, either hit this arrow or hit K. And here, at that point, the creature is going to grow to 100%. Okay, 100, return. All right, and then the opacity will be 100%. So I'm going to click to make an opacity 100% keyframe over here, snack back to the previous keyframe, and let's bring it down to maybe 60%, or actually let's go lower, like, so it's kind of ghostly. All right, so I'm going to set my work area here to start here so that I don't have to waste time at this keyframe right here. So I hit B for beginning, move my playhead to the last keyframe, and hit N for end. And let's go snap back to the last keyframe again, J, and let's see what we've got now. So as you can see, it's already at like 31, you know, the opacity's already come up a little bit, and that's pretty neat. So it's going to come up, and then I think what I'll do is I'll have it go back down to the left and then pop up from the bottom and have it come up as well at that point. So that could be really cool. Oh, I have a really good idea actually. I think what we'll do is we'll have it come into the spaceship. So here it's outside the spaceship. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep it outside. See, I've got all these great ideas as I'm going along. Let's see if that's working okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, and then so it's going to go back down and away. So I'll have it copy these, Command C, and maybe it's going to go back really, really quickly, like maybe over here. So it goes up very slowly, and then it goes away. Okay, and then what we can do is here, we could either cut it and have it start all over again, or we actually don't need to do anything because it's, as far as cutting this layer, because it's off screen. I'm going to save. So right here, I can bring it down below, like right down here. And we won't see anything because it's behind the spaceship. And it's also going to rotate. I need to set a keyframe. So let's click on the rotation stopwatch. And we're going to snap back to here. So I'm going to snap back to this area, create another rotation keyframe at 90-degree rotation, snap to forward again, and now this time we're going to make it 0, hit return, and now it's faced up, straight up and down. And now at this point it's going to be here, which is perfect. and we'll have it come up like around about there, really much faster. And now it's going to come up. Ooh, and now it's ghostly looking. That's so cool. But I do want to bring up the opacity. So here is where it was. It was at 31% back there. So I'll just make that 100. Okay, so there it is. Maybe go to 80. Let's see. Try whatever. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like right there, maybe. And I think that's going to be pretty good. So it's going to come up, and that's huge. And then it's going to come up here. And actually, I still think it needs to be big, because it's kind of weird that it wasn't so big before. So let's make sure that we bring the scale back up to 100%. And maybe bring it down a bit right at that point. And remember to stay on your keyframes. Always snap to keyframes so that you make sure that you don't get crazy unwanted animation. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And now I'm going to put my other space alien in here. So let's do this. Now we could have a person in here looking at the space alien and getting scared. I mean, there are all kinds of things we could do. But let's see. Maybe this space alien is looking at the one that's already in the ship that's been maybe just created in this lab. So we'll go ahead and take this. And let's have that. We could probably have it fade in. That would be pretty cool. So maybe like right there it is. Pretty cool. Maybe at this point, maybe the space alien is going to put this creature in here. And, you know, think about shows like Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever, you know, like maybe you could even have like some kind of weird light appear that makes the space alien pop in, this second one. So it's maybe that this space alien that's peeking in is creating this new space alien. So try to get really creative and have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to scale this up. Unfortunately, it's pretty low resolution. I might want to even grab something else. But let's just see what we've got here. Yeah, that's actually looking like it's in a good spot too. It almost looks like it's created in this little area here. Let's move it over to the left just a little bit. And once again, let's see. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm going to just, also with this one, I think I'm not going to have to worry about anything with keyframes like I did with the jellyfish. So in the project panel, again, I'm going interpret footage main and looping 100 times rather than having to sequence layers. So that's going to go as long as I want. And then, like we did in the other movie, we want to add sound, like music maybe, titles, credits, that kind of thing. But let's just see what this is going to look like here. And I think I'll export it for you guys. I'll make another little video where I've exported it, but that's pretty neat. It comes in. And remember, we should also have that spaceship continuing its journey so that we can see a dynamic background with the space moving as we're going through here. So as you can see, it looks like my space isn't really doing much in the background, and it looks like I also have to fix some things within this animation, but that's easy. I can just move them. But let's see what's happening with the space alien. There it is. So I think that space alien should come in later, like right after that creature So like maybe has completely come in. So like maybe here, and I'll play around with it to fix it. All right, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to add a green screen spacecraft and add some space aliens, add music, add other sounds, titles, credits, fade in, fade out. Have a lot of fun with this. Make it a story. Do as much as you can. Thank you. I'll see you soon. And feel free to contact me if you're having issues with this.